Shreveport Police Sergeant Bill Goodin joins us this morning. Bill, thank you for spending a few minutes with us. We certainly appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
I know you have heard, we have heard, rumors are running crazy about some bad things that happened at the Krewe of Centaur. Lots of good happened. It was probably the biggest crowd ever. But we are now told, I've now confirmed from a third source, that a float was shot. No one hit, but there is a bullet hole in one of the floats. What do you know about that? Where did it happen? What do you guys know?
I have not heard. Initially, there were some reports as the parade was moving through Shreveport, Barksdale, that there were gunshots. Now, based on the preliminary information that I got from the folks on the ground out there Saturday night, there was nothing to indicate at that time that a float had been shot at. Our officers were in that area and were unable to locate anyone who was shooting. So at this point, based on the information, again, that I had, there was no float that was actually shot at.
Okay, the other issue, and I know you've heard them all, that there were a number of riders, at least 3, that had to be taken to the hospital because they were hit by either rocks or concrete or bricks or something thrown at them. What do you know about that so far?
I have heard that. I have not seen any official reports at this point, and certainly it's one of the things that we take very seriously, is making sure that we provide a safe environment for not only the patrons, the guests who are out there enjoying the parade, but the float riders as well. So that's something that we're going to be doing today, is going back and meeting with each of the area commanders, our supervisors out there, and seeing exactly what happened and where we need to adjust for the next parade.
Bill, do you have any numbers or preliminary numbers on arrests? I know a lot of it is underage drinking. Do y'all have that available yet?
But yes, at this point, again, based on the preliminary numbers, it looks like we had actually less than 30 arrests. My count's about 28. And again, once we have our after-action meeting today, we'll get a hard count on those. But it's less than 30.
Most of those are underage drinking?
Most of those actually are alcohol-related offenses, but public drunk, disturbing the peace by fighting, things of that nature.
Sergeant Bill, when you have your what you call the after-action meeting today, who goes to that? What is the what's on the itinerary for that?
It's the command staff, it's the officers, the supervisors who were actually out there in charge of things on the parade route. And we'll look at issues that we had, concerns that we had, and we just want to make sure that we efficiently allocate our personnel.
Bill, let me. You and I go back a long way, so I'm gonna be blunt.
Boy, you know what that means. You know what that means, don't you, bub? Oh my God!
One of the people who told me about the float getting shot, and there's pictures circulating of a bullet hole in a float, said that police don't want this out there. They don't want people to know this happened. I mean, you guys want people to know the truth, right?
Absolutely. And let me be clear. I don't think you'll find any government entity that's as translucent as we are. I mean, we put out press releases, and certainly, if indeed that we determine that a float was shot, that's going to be obviously a felony crime. Our detectives will be investigating that, and we'll do as we normally do. We will put out a press release documenting what happened so the public will be aware. And one of the first things we'll do is ask for the public's assistance. If anybody knows anything about that crime, if indeed it occurred, if indeed it did occur, we're going to need their help.
I know you had a lot of cameras along the route. Are y'all going to be using that footage to go look to see if there are other people that you might need to go check with and put in handcuffs later after the fact?
We will use any tool at our disposal, and whether that's maybe a private business that had a camera at their business, any tool at our disposal that would lead us to or assist us in developing leads on any case, we're going to do that.
Sergeant Bill, I would think what you need more than anything else at this point, based on what you're telling us this morning, is that the people that are texting Aaron A, B, or C happen to us, is you want them to get in touch with you.
Absolutely. If anybody knows of a crime that occurred that was not reported to police, we need to know that. That is the tool that allows us to move forward. And if those things did indeed occur, we need to put the persons responsible behind bars where they belong.
Have another incident of a teenager hit by a bottle rocket. It exploded on his arm. I've gotten the pictures. Robert's gotten the pictures. Anything on that y'all have heard yet?
No, I've not heard anything with any issues with fireworks. But again, if somebody knows of a crime that occurred or someone that was injured, we need to know about it.
Okay, we've talked about all the bad stuff. Let's talk about all the good stuff. Record crowds, have y'all got any estimates at this point?
I think it's difficult to accurately assess specific numbers, but what I can tell you anecdotally is, and I've been involved in the parade as a police officer working it in some capacity for over 20 years. And I can tell you this is probably one of the biggest crowds that I've seen. And I think when you look at the totality of the circumstances, when you look at the number of folks that we have out there on these parade routes, really we don't see a lot of issues comparatively, and it's relative. But overall, I think most people go out there, they have a good time, and they do the right thing.
No real serious arrest, right? I mean, we didn't have any major crimes happen along the route that you could tell us about, right?
Not that I'm aware of at this point. All of the arrests that I've been told, the bulk of those arrests were misdemeanor crimes that involved some sort of disturbing the peace by fighting, some sort of alcohol-related offense.
Will anything change for this Saturday for Gemini? Will y'all do anything differently?
Actually, we're absolutely, the possibility exists. We're always reassessing the way that we do our business, and it's one of the things that we're going to go into in this after action, is seeing if there's anywhere we need to tweak, and that's from traffic. Do we have, again, are we efficiently allocating our resources? Do we have our personnel out there where they need to be? So certainly that's a possibility.
Well, Bill, we've known each other a long time. And you've done this job so much that when somebody says that, you know what's coming, don't you?
You did good. You did good, my friend. We appreciate your
Sergeant
candor.
Bill, great stuff as always, man. Thank you so much for taking time to join us this morning.
Absolutely. Appreciate y'all.
Take care.
Robert and Aaron, Keel News Radio time is 8:18.